Assassin's Creed Syndicate came out back in 2015. I'm checking it out 9 years later to let you see if it's worth your time and money or not. Of course, no major story spoilers will be shown. The time is 1868 in Victorian London. The Second Industrial Revolution is drawing near. The city is booming, with steam engines, factories, plenty of barges amongst the river, and carriages running rampant. The city is alive. It's divided into two worlds, however, the slums and higher class society, with the likes of the Templar puppeteering things from the shadows. We meet our two assassins, the Fry twins, Jacob and Evie. Jacob, a brute with a sense of humor and quick to charge into the action. Evie, the more methodical of the two, as she plans carefully and uses her wit. They take to London to battle the evils of the Templar. It makes for a solid story, telling of siblings who have disputes, but who manage to come together for the sake of family and for the greater good. Nothing crazy where you haven't seen it before, but nonetheless, it has decent pacing, offers fun missions, and doesn't feel like a chore to play through. Syndicate offers the player something unique I've yet to see in another Assassin's Creed game currently, where you can effortlessly change between the two siblings. Both have specialties to call their own, but also share a lot in common no matter who you pick. When it comes to the skill tree, it's a simplistic setup, having 3 sections: combat, stealth, and ecosystem. But honestly, it works well for the most part. You will see how Jacob has more options to upgrade combat, with the likes of his gun skills and brute strength. As for Evie, she is given more stealth opportunities, with the likes of upgrading knife, throwing abilities, and her stealthiness. She even has an OP ability allowing her to go invisible when she isn't moving. I found that one to be a bit cheesy. If you do play long enough, you will eventually max out both siblings at level 10. For those who may be thinking,
oh crap, do I have to grind out both siblings separately?
Thankfully, no. No matter who you prefer to play as, you will earn skill points simultaneously. I will add, there will be certain story missions that are intended for a certain sibling, where they will display a logo of that sibling on the map for that mission. Personally, I wish they would have made a few more adjustments to separate the play between the twins a bit more, but it's not the end of the world. Now, I've lightly touched on the world. It's London in the late 1860s, but I gotta say, it's one of the better Assassin's Creed worlds I've played in. Now, this can be said to vary from person to person. It really depends on what setting you like and how you feel about the world and the history of it. That's the beauty of some of the games in the series. A setting can really help one's experience or not. I know there has been an Assassin's Creed game people loved, but I particularly wasn't the biggest fan of because of this. This one.
This is preposterous!
Anyway, Syndicate just feels organic. The world Ubisoft Quebec has invented feels good. There are things always happening, where it felt nice to walk around the world and observe. Kids running around, workers down at the docks or in factories, aristocrats strolling through the park displaying their full douchiness. Night and day feel different. Daytime can be sunny and vibrant, or even overcast. After all, it is London, where nighttime could bring on a fog, and the streets have kind of a mystique to them, or eeriness, depending how you look at it, I suppose. There will be some really cool noticeable landmarks you'll see in Syndicate 2, like Big Ben, Buckingham Palace, and a lot of great other places too I'll leave for you to discover on your playthrough. The ambiance the city gives is terrific. Even the way the open world flows in this game is well done. It gives the player opportunities to break from the main story and explore the city or tackle side missions. Side missions where you may help associates to gain their trust and eventually could unlock some nice items as a bonus. In fact, I do admit I'd get lost tackling a lot of side missions, as it does lead to you building your turf. Whereas when you roll into London, the Blighters are a gang that control all the boroughs around. It's up to you to move in on their territories and establish the Rooks. The Rooks is your gang, led by the Fry twins, Jacob having the idea to start a gang. These side missions consist of child liberations, where you go into a factory, disrupt the production by taking out the enemies and freeing the kids of child labor. Bounty hunts, finding a marked Templar target and capturing them, where you bring them in, dead or alive. Of course, if you want the bonus, best to keep them breathing. Templar hunts, find the marked named Templar and kill them. Personally, my favorite was gang strongholds, where it's just as it sounds. You infiltrate the Blighter stronghold and take them out in order to take the fort for yourself. Eventually, you will encounter the Burrow Templar leader when they make an appearance and kill them to make for an easier gang war. That is unlocked when you fully free a Burrow, or if you fail to kill the leader. It can make for a tricky boss fight of sorts when you do the gang war. You even get a skill tree for the gang. Ringleader, giving you choices to improve your rook members and weaken Blighter materials. Insider, helps you with things around the city, police bribery, and also having little rooks, where kids snag you goodies and give them to you. Swindler, which personally was my favorite, as it helps you with discounts in the stores with meds and gear. Plus, it even helps you with earning more credits at a quicker rate, which in time can help you buy everything else in the gang skill tree. I almost forgot to mention, you even have your own moving gang hideout in a train. That's freaking awesome. I just really love this aspect of Syndicate. It could be very well that I love Peaky Blinders, and I got all sorts of those vibes when doing this.
You don't f*** with the Peaky Blinders.
When it comes to combat, it offers you what you'd expect in a game like this, and you've seen in other Assassin's Creed games. To sneak up on someone delivering that precise strike, air assassinations, double assassinations, and like you guessed, just jumping into the midst of enemies and brawling it out. If you go that route, just take note it's all about countering attacks and keeping that rhythm going. It can be a bit button mashy when doing that, depending on how many enemies you're facing. To assist you in combat, you have a few gadgets at your aid. Just use them wisely because you will only have so much in stock before having to re-up them. Such things like smoke, or shot grenades, throwing knives, a revolver, or personally my favorite as it does a lot of heavy work, berserker darts, where you shoot an enemy and they freak out, start attacking other enemies around. Plus, as an added bonus, it's just fun to see them go ballistic on everyone. It really does some solid work on clearing out those bad guys. Though, that isn't even the most innovative gadget given in Assassin's Creed Syndicate. The most resourceful gadget given, and it makes for quite the game changer, would have to be the zipline gun, allowing you to basically be the industrial age Batman or Catwoman, where you could bypass parkour if you chose to. The thing works everywhere and all the time. I try to do parkour still when I could to try and stay true to the series, though I can't lie, this zipline gun is incredible and such a time saver, allowing you to get everywhere super quick, and it's really nifty. The only time this thing fails is when you get too low when zipping and you could graze a building or a structure that can knock you off, so be careful where you point it. Overall, I really enjoyed my time with Assassin's Creed Syndicate. I found it to be a nice balance between the open world and a standard story mission structure. I found myself putting in 20 to 30 hours into this game, where I could see people playing it a lot longer. As I left collectibles out there to be found, I did find some, definitely not all, and barely touched the DLC itself. I did a few missions with Charles Dickens and Karl Marx, but I won't dip into those as it contains story elements for you to discover yourself. Also, apparently, there is a Jack the Ripper DLC, so I'm going to have to play that as it sounds intriguing. When playing this, I found more pros that outweighed cons. The few cons I found were glitches and bugs here and there. I didn't like the "we don't recommend adventuring to that area without being this level" in a suggested level setup. I don't really care for that element as it leads the player to believe, crap, I gotta grind out a bunch of XP to continue? Thankfully, there isn't a ton of levels in this game. Like I said, max level is 10, where it takes forever to level up like some of the other Assassin's Creed titles do, like the RPG ones. While I'm at it, it would be nice if Ubisoft considers putting in a difficulty for those who lack a lot of time to play games, called Story Mode, where it allows whoever just wants to enjoy the story to focus solely on that element. I've seen it on some other big games, and it would be nice for them to include that feature in the future titles. But like I said, overall, it was good fun, and I enjoyed my time. Anyway, Thank you if you watched till the very end. I greatly appreciate your time and patience to hear me out.
You complete me.
Please drop a like and consider subscribing if you haven't already. Let me know what are your thoughts on Assassin's Creed Syndicate. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments section. If you are wanting more Assassin's Creed content, check out the playlist in the video description below. But most importantly, remember to take care of yourself. Have a great day, and I'll catch you in the next video, which will appear right on your screen here.